appreciate our work, write your comment and click the subscribe button. Enjoy the show, and here we go. Tender Mary Whitaker 1990. The Wonderful Lonnie Anderson 1968. While I didn't take this photo of the California state capitol, my brother did on 35mm Anscochrome. I am the reason it exists. Blue Earth, Minnesota. September 1951. Dottie Sally. San Francisco circa 1918. Dale the bus. How did its passengers get on and off, or from front to back, on a vehicle whose seats seemed to extend the full width of the bus? Columbus, Georgia, circa 1948. Housing AC chicken house dwelling. August 1939. Washington, Yakima Valley, near Wapato. They now own 48 acres of good land. This good house, price $6,770. Circa 1897. USS Brooklyn Apprentice Boys. August 1939. Washington, Yakima Valley, near Wapato. Carrying peppers from garden. St. Paul Building, New York, 1901. One of the first structures to be called a skyscraper. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1960, and that's all we know. If you know these ladies, or are one of them yourself, speak up. Chicago circa 1962. Miss Eileen Dawson of American City Bureau at Tri-State Hospital Assembly Exposition. Air Shields Incorporated Isolette Incubator Display. Mariposa County, California, circa 1940. Yosemite Lodge Pool and Falls Vista. April 1st, 1938. San Francisco. Camera Craft Store, 425 Bush Street. Mr. Yar Young. Circa 1906. Elks Club, Memphis. Antlers in the attic, wallpaper in the basement. Columbus, Georgia, 1952. Soapbox Derby champion Joe Lunn at Curvins. San Francisco circa 1927. Willis Knight Model 66 sedan. May 1942. War factory worker in Denver. Circa 1906. Coaling a river packet underway on the Mississippi near Memphis. April 1865. Petersburg, Virginia. Federal Army Camp. Soldiers boxing. August 1908. Noon hour in an Indianapolis tomato cannery. Young fellows in front of boxcar. June 1943. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Miss Natalie O'Donnell, service station attendant at the Atlantic Refining Company garages. Washington, D.C., 1923. War Risk Bureau, Vermont Avenue and I Street, NW. July 1918. Alex, a 14-year-old working boy in Saint-Étienne, France, was found intently studying the playground model at the Children's Welfare Exhibit of the American Red Cross. (1906). Memphis Trust Building, Main Street. Completed 1904. (1906). City Hall, Vicksburg, Mississippi. The building still stands, although the angels have flown. June 1943. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Miss Natalie O'Donnell, service station attendant at an Atlantic refining company garage. June 1923. Washington, D.C. Aloha Band at Bureau of Engraving and Printing. A Beautiful Girl from the 1960s, a parody of Marilyn Monroe. April 1958. Hubert Leslie, human guinea pig for medical experiments, also an artist known as Hube the Cube, one of the beatnik community of San Francisco's North Beach district. August 1943. Southfields, New York. Interracial activities at Camp Nathan Hale, where children are aided by the Methodist Camp Service. First aid. Manhattan circa 1909. New Pennsylvania Station, New York, New York. The Beaux-Arts behemoth whose demolition in 1963. Detroit, 1907. Hotel Pontchartrain under construction. July 1943. Washington, D.C. A child whose home is an alley dwelling near the U.S. Capitol. June 1943. Miss Ruth Gusick, formerly a clerk in a drugstore, now works as a garage attendant at one of the Atlantic Refining Company service stations in Philadelphia. Circa 1894. Fritz Reuter, the Washington, D.C. hotelier, and his children Fritz and Gertrude. Pittsburgh circa 1910. Skenley Park Bridge and the Tick, Carnegie Mellon University. The Bay Area circa 1915. Chu Sing produced Truck, the fresh fruit Ford. Springfield, Massachusetts, circa 1908. Courthouse Place, Court Square Theater Building and Court Square Hotel. June 1925. Washington, D.C. Tacoma News. We need 2 more girls for the Kitty Conga line. October 1925. Washington, D.C. Fire at Drive It Yourself Company Garage. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1957. Boys with Cowboy Easter Bunny. June 1943. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Miss Natalie O'Donnell, attendant at the Atlantic Refining Company garages. Jordan touring car at San Francisco Piers, 1921. The SS Ventura at dock. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Red Cross Group, Government Hotels. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950, and another snap from the housing series. July 26, 1919. Washington, D.C. Bathing Beach Parade at Tidal Basin. Santa Rosa, California, circa 1924. Graham Brothers truck at Nelligan's Sun. March 17, 1919. Paris. Interior of the American Red Cross garage at 79 Rue Laguerre. September 1942. Rochester, New York. Earl Babcock's school day begins with the salute to the flag. February 1939. Migrant laborers camp near Canal Point, Florida. In foreground is a bean hamper which they used to sit on and they call a muck rocker. Some of them are from Missouri and Arkansas. January 1939. Store and juke joint in Negro section of Homestead, Florida. Los Angeles, November 1970. Mary Tyler Moore rehearsing and performing on the set of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Shands between March 1905 and August 1906. Very likely one Agnes Shands, the daughter of Washington, D.C., physician Aurelius Rives Shands. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Corina Wall, 1970s, Boston, Massachusetts, USA. American actress, singer Tina Louise, 1950s. June 1947. Bodybuilder Gene Jansen with wife Pat and 11-month-old son Kent. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1955, and the Youngsters. From circa 1955 Columbus, Georgia, comes this uncaptioned snap of two youngsters interacting with an authority figure driving a Buick. May 1930. Washington, D.C. American Road Builders Association earth moving shovel. August 1908. A group of young fellows working in an Indianapolis tomato cannery. Circa 1900. Ormond, Florida. Princess Asina at Tomoka Landing. The Jersey Shore circa 1901. Driveway and beach at Long Branch. The Jersey Shore circa 1900. The beach at Long Branch. From Columbus, Georgia, circa 1957 comes this uncaptioned shot of two guys about to go somewhere. Cola? Check. Bedroll? Ditto. Daddy's Roadmaster? August 1943. Southfields, New York. Interracial activities at Camp Nathan Hale. March 1957. Gary, Indiana. Teenage girls in car at drive-in. circa 1896. Coconut Grove at McCormick's, Lake Worth, Florida. May 1942. Southington, Connecticut. A girl. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1960. Holiday Inn. In the garden spot of the South. October 1907. Marble Collegiate Church, 5th Avenue, New York. From Chicago circa 1962 came this uncaptioned shot of a toddler in a police car, literally in the public eye. Hopefully things have gotten better in the intervening 60-plus years. Circa 1910. Main Street, Springfield, Massachusetts. Columbus, Georgia, 1951. Future Marines of America Juniors. San Francisco, 1925. Ajax 6 sedan at Golden Gate Park Conservatory. Paris, France. Circa 1918. Sample Red Cross Rolling Kitchen, ready to travel. On exhibition at the Grand Palais. Manhattan circa 1900. The Bowery, New York. Washington, D.C., circa 1954. General Accounting Office, G Street, N.W. International Nickel Company. Installation of louvers. January 1912. Fall River, Massachusetts. In this group are some of the youngest workers in spinning room of Cornell Mill. The smallest is Joe Benevito's, 5 Marion Street. Circa 1905. South Union Street, Burlington, Vermont. From circa 1957 Columbus, Georgia, comes this uncaptioned snap of an accident's aftermath, a wrinkled 56 Lincoln Coupe. Circa 1903. Billy McLean. American entertainer and impresario, 1866 to 1950. The stunning Stacey Moran, 1990s. October 1942. Passaic, New Jersey. Factory owner Stanley A. Carlson, organizer of home machine shops for defense work. Carlson greeted by his family when he returns home. September 1942. New York. 2nd Avenue elevated railway at 14th Street in the midst of demolition. San Francisco, 1922. Marmon Roadster. With a few years and at least 3,000 miles on the clock. (1942) Shulman's Market at North and Union Street, SW, Washington. August 1942. New York, New York. Waiting for trains at Pennsylvania Station. From circa 1956 in Anytown, USA, comes this captionless snap of two young ladies and a broiler tray of chops, next to a chair with our name on it. Bon appetit. May 1943. Houston, Texas. Old house with fruit stand on Franklin Street. Manhattan circa 1910. U.S. Custom House, New York, New York. Truck fire. A burnout, watered down International somewhere in Oregon. Washington, D.C., 1935. No caption, but I see a beautiful girl in front of an equally beautiful car. American film actress Irish Macalla, 1947. October 1942. The careful hands of women are trained in precise aircraft engine installation duties at Douglas Aircraft Company, Long Beach, California. Washington, D.C., circa 1905. A.C. Duggan, Technical High School. Track and field athlete Alfred C. Duke, Dogan, 1887 to 1964. June 1937. Packing Company strike. Cambridge, Maryland. Circa 1905. Children's Day May Pole Dance, Central Park, New York. (1919) Page touring car at San Francisco Golf Club. Chicagoland circa 1956. Peanut Man at Havahosiery Mills. Buffalo, New York, circa 1904. Main Street. March 1943. Santa Fe Streamliner Super Chief being serviced at the depot in Albuquerque. Servicing these diesel streamliners takes 5 minutes. Washington, D.C., 1915. Dr. Thomas J. Kemp Residence, 15th Street and Massachusetts Avenue, NW. Washington, D.C., circa 1921. U.S. Capitol, West Front. American actress Lonnie Anderson, 1960s. Augusta, Georgia, 1903. Georgia Railroad Bank, 7th and Broad Streets. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, circa 1908. 5th Avenue, looking north. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, circa 1908. Liberty Avenue at 7th Avenue, looking west. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. British film actress Jacqueline Bisset, 1966. The 1980s. The Enchanting Maria Whittaker 1980s. March 1957. Gary, Indiana. Teenage girls in car at drive-in. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950, and a print shop making fruit crate labels. Circa 1895. Hazimir, Washington baseball. Fan favorite William, Roaring Bill, Hazimir. Chicago circa 1958. Crime is all it says, a whodunit whose clues are a boy, a kitchen, a box, and some handcuffs. A Course, Michigan, 1904. Great Lake Engineering Works. Steamer Detroit, Michigan Central Transfer, Stern Quarter. October 1942. B-25 Bomber Assembly Hall, North American Aviation, Kansas City. Washington, D.C., 1957. Postman delivering issues of U.S. News World Report. December 1940. Children in the Tenement District, Brockton, Massachusetts. August 2nd, 1924. Washington, D.C. F.R. Hudzik H.W. Hornbrook. June 16th, 1923. Semaphore signals Boy Scouts at Lincoln Memorial. May 1st, 1943. South Water Street Freight Depot of the Illinois Central Railroad, Chicago. Columbus, Georgia, 1948. Curvin's department store fashion show Jerry Pound. Circa 1905. The Capitol at Washington East Front. San Francisco, 1919. Marmon limousine on Stockton Street at Union Square between Geary Post. Circa 1905. New York Central Railroad Station, Albany, New York. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1949. Safety Patrol Fund. A $50 check to Sergeant 97 of the Georgia State Patrol. June 1942. Inspecting a Cyclone airplane motor at North American Aviation in Long Beach, California. New York, 1908. George Bothner and John Perelli, standing. Washington, D.C., circa 1904. Willard Hotel, Pennsylvania Avenue and 14th Street. Philadelphia, circa 1904. Market Street and City Hall from 8th. December 1941. Washington, D.C. Christmas shopping. Salesgirls at Woolworth's. Washington, D.C., circa 1925. Sens Motor Company Hellman's truck. St. Louis, Missouri, circa 1900. Broadway north from Olive Street. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950. Library Gene Hollis. Cited by one source as head of Reference Division, Bradley Memorial Library. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1954. Louise Mullen is all it says here. American actress Tina Louise, 1955. My mother and my father's mother on a chilly January day in 1966. Kodachrome slide I took in Copella, California, where my grandfather raised grapes from 1915 to 1953. San Francisco, circa 1921. Doris 6 to 80 touring sedan at Spreckles Mansion. August 1939. Yakima Valley, Washington. Champion hop picker in squatter camp before the season opens. Earned $5 a day in the 1938 season. Washington, D.C., 1942. Children on row house steps, corner of N and Union Streets, SW. Detroit circa 1900. Majestic building and campus marshes. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950. Mrs. D.L. Randall. Hot Springs, Arkansas, circa 1901. The Eastman Hotel. Completed in 1890. Washington, D.C., circa 1942. Car in front of Schulman's Market on North at Union Street, SW. Philadelphia, circa 1905. South Broad Street from City Hall. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1948. Philip Schley and Musketeers is all it says here. September 1922. Washington, D.C. Nanny, a Swiss goat owned by Dr. James E. Chamberlain, holds the record of having given 7 quarts of milk a day for the past year. Detroit, circa 1907. Cadillac Square Soldiers and Sailors Monument and Hotel Pontchartrain. Ann Arbor, Michigan, circa 1905. Main Street, looking north. New Haven, Connecticut, circa 1900. Sheffield Scientific School, Yale College. San Francisco, 1928. LaSalle 328 sedan. April 1943. Trucks unloading at the inbound freight house of the Illinois Central Railroad, South Water Street Freight Terminal, Chicago. October 2nd, 1960. Richmond, California. Harbor Patrol. Circa 1941. From uncaptioned photos by Barbara Wright taken in and around Knoxville. September 1943. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A mechanic at the Greyhound Garage. Circa 1941. Miscellaneous lot of photographs by Barbara Wright. Tennessee, e.g. Tennessee Valley Authority, Knoxville. Charleston, South Carolina, circa 1905. Hotel St. John, Mills House, Meeting Street. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Sweet Gail McKenna, 1980. The beautiful model Maria Whittaker 1980s. English actress Linda Lusardi 1978. San Francisco circa 1920. Maxwell sedan at Presidio Terrace. January 1911. Pittston, Pennsylvania. For breaker boys working in number 9 Breaker, Hughstown Borough, Pennsylvania Coal Company. January 3, 1924. New York. Underscore 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 listening to records. September 1942. Park County, Montana. Oat harvest. July 10, 1912. Carmen's automobile? Overland touring car. Taken at barn raising. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Herbert E. French, photographer in office. Washington, D.C., circa 1910. Briggs House, formerly 15th and GSDSNW. July 1918. American Red Cross Canteen at Gare d'Ivry, Paris, showing decorations in honor of the 4th of July, which was celebrated by the French as well as by the Americans. June 1941. Interior of Negro Rural House, Greene County, Georgia. August 1940. Women in Upper Mauch Chunk, Pennsylvania. The corner of Grant and Bush in San Francisco in 1966. I took this Kodachrome to show Big Ben's, my favorite place for hamburgers while I was in the Navy, stationed on Treasure Island. November 1936. Daughter of migrant Tennessee coal miner. Living in American River Camp near Sacramento, California. Palm Beach, Florida, circa 1904. Casino, the breakers, and cottages along the beach. One of Henry Flagler's giant wood frame hotels. The breakers burned in 1903 and reopened the following year. Waseca, Minnesota, circa 1899. Chautauqua grounds cottages at Maplewood. San Francisco, 1921. Maxwell Model 25 touring sedan. Honey, whose horse was that blocking the garage? August 1968. My mom in San Francisco's Chinatown at Grant and California streets. Kodachrome slide by my dad. February 1936. Lilac Street, Mission District, San Francisco. Rent $15 a month for 3 rooms. August 1942. Shepherd with his horse and dog on Gravelly Range, Madison County, Montana. New Orleans circa 1900. St. Charles Hotel, St. Charles Street. Welcome NEA members. San Luis Potosí, Mexico, circa 1897. Church of Carmen, Rearview. February 1936. Card Alley. North Beach District, Italians. San Francisco, California. San Francisco, 1928. Essex Super 6 sedan at golf course. Caterpillar and butterflies on parade circa 1955 courtesy of the Fabric Tractor Company. In this Kodachrome slide found at a local flea market. Independence Day, 1906. F.A. Loomis, copyright claimant. Little boy holding 3 large firecrackers and flag. Charming girl from the 1960s. October 1942. Colorado School of Mines at Golden. Chemical prospecting for oil becomes more important as the war goes on and the demand for oil increases. August 1940. Women in Upper Mauch Chunk, Pennsylvania. January 20th, 1919. Recreation barracks at the American Red Cross Agricultural Training School for French Mutils, Le Liege. September 11, 1900. New York Life Building, Chicago. The building, at LaSalle and Monroe Streets. Frank Hume's Mammy, between February 1894 and February 1901. August 1942. Vernon County, Wisconsin. The E.J. Sogstad family at Arrowdale, their 160-acre farm near Westby. Robert, age 16, with hired man Alton Lee. June 1942. Tennessee Valley Authority construction cranes at Douglas Dam. December 1936. C.D. Grant and storehouse on his farm at Penderley Homesteads, North Carolina. February 1936. Mission District. Slums of San Francisco, California. November 1935. Backyard in Northwest Washington, D.C. Circa 1905 to 1915. Unidentified group, children, girls with dolls. September 1942. Richwood, West Virginia. Hazel Friend and her son Daryl in front of their home. The family is traveling to Batavia, New York, to work in the harvest. December 1942. Highway view along US 40 in Mount Vernon Canyon, Colorado. Looking east toward Green Mountain, with Shingle Creek below. Pittsfield, Massachusetts, circa 1906. North Street from the park. Circa 1900. Detroit photographic car crossing DLW Bridge over the Passaic at Millington, New Jersey. Circa 1900. A.W. McCurdy machine. The inventor Arthur Williams McCurdy, 1856 to 1923. San Francisco circa 1921. Romer Roadster. Utica, New York, circa 1905. Utica City National Bank, Genesee Street. Minneapolis, Minnesota, circa 1905. Hotel Nicolette, Nicolette, Washington Avenues. November 1942. Bingham Copper Mine, Utah. Car Fork Canyon, a scene from the G Bridge. Syracuse, New York, circa 1900. West Genesee Street. Circa 1911. Main Street, Buffalo, New York. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. The stunning Donna Evan, 1989. American model Roberta Vasquez, 1982. The marvelous Samantha Fox, 1986. November 1938. Omaha, Nebraska. Cars parked diagonally along a row of parking meters. (1906). Mobile, Alabama, Old Market House at Royal and Church. October 30th, 1939. German-American Bun Parade on East 86th Street. November 1938. Capitol Avenue storefronts, Omaha, Nebraska. San Francisco, 1927. Stutz Vertical 8 with safety chassis. Coal miner during May 1939 strike. Kempton, West Virginia. Summer 1938. General Store Interior. Florence County, South Carolina. February 1939. Sebastian, Texas. Migrant camp of workers who hope to get employment in the winter vegetable harvest. Washington, D.C., circa 1942. Conservation of fuel oil rock wool attic insulation. Washington, D.C., circa 1942. Food rationing stamps. Demonstration of point rationing plan in schools. Washington, D.C., circa 1928. Fussell Young Ice Cream Company trucks. October 1938. Playground in Green Hills, Ohio. (1938). Andrews Log House, Rutherford County, North Carolina. Norwell, tenant. Fairbury, Nebraska, 1953. Walter Gorham, my uncle, ran this restaurant in the Marietta Hotel. Boston, circa 1906. Board of Trade, Broad Street. Circa 1904. Summer Street in Boston, Massachusetts. Circa 1905. Cathedral of the Holy Cross, Boston, Massachusetts. March 1937. 6:45 a.m. One of 9 children, son of hired man Tip Estes, washing his face after doing his early morning chores. Near Fowler, Indiana. March 1937. Children of migratory carrot pullers, Mexicans. Imperial Valley, California. Boston, circa 1900. Hotel Vendome, Dartmouth Street and Commonwealth Avenue. November 1942. Utah Copper Bingham Mine. Brakeman of an ore train at the open pit mining operations of Utah Copper Company at Bingham Canyon, Utah. August 1937. Automobile convoys at Amity Hall, Pennsylvania. Truckers' facilities are, according to the drivers, model accommodations and of a kind not found elsewhere. New York, 1903. Cadet Armory, 9th Regiment Coast Artillery, West 14th Street. October 1938. North Platte, Nebraska. Manager of the Alamo Bar, and Mildred Irwin, entertainer. The Beautiful Karen Brennan, 1990s. November 1938. Houses along the railroad tracks, Omaha, Nebraska. June 1936. Griffin Children of Alabama Land Use Demonstration Project near Greensboro. November 1938. Lower Douglas Street, Omaha, is one of the hobo centers of the West. San Francisco, 1919. Saxon touring car at Boatyard. November 1938. Saloon in Stockyards District, South Omaha, Nebraska. (1905). Yates Hotel, Syracuse, New York. Opened in 1892 and demolished in 1971. The most elegant hotel outside Manhattan. Harbor Springs, Michigan, circa 1906. A flowing well in Weckwatansing. Puerto Rico, circa 1903. La Marina San Juan, PR. New York, circa 1903. Manhattan from under the Brooklyn Bridge. November 1938. Omaha, Nebraska, newsstand. Noon, June 10, 1909. Parker Mill in Warren, Rhode Island. I saw these in nearly